The Maldives is known as the tropical paradise for reasons such as its beauty. This tropical country has separated islands which are surrounded by its own lagoon. Each island has pure white sandy beaches. The sea covers 99% of the Maldives. It is where you can see beautiful fishes and corals. There are over 5,000 coral reefs and plenty of reef fish, corals, and many other marine lives you could see underwater. Diving in the Maldives would be memorable. In the midst of people's busy schedules, taking a vacation once in a while feels like a cool breeze. Nature is the breather that people look for. They go to mountains, forests, beaches, and marine sanctuaries. If you're one of these people eagerly looking for a space to breathe, this bay in the Maldives is worth seeing. Hanifaru Bay is a unique marine reserve in the Maldives for people who love snorkeling with manta rays and whale sharks. The protected underwater bay is located in the UNESCO Biosphere Reserve of Ba Atoll. There are strict rules for being in the place to protect and preserve this unique wonder. The reef at Hanifaru Bay can be compared to a giant funnel measuring about 1,300 meters, where the inner narrow part is about 600 meters, and where whale sharks and mantas are the most common. Manta rays season from May to November. During this period, huge masses of plankton get into the funnel, attracting whales and manta schools to the feast. There could be more than 100 mantas and several whale sharks found at this time. This is the largest and one of the most famous feeding stations in the world. In Hanifaru Bay, you can find manta rays and swim with them. This video mainly focuses on the secret life of manta rays. Worldwide, there are two species of manta rays: the reef manta, Manta alfredi, as seen in our video, and oceanic manta, Manta birostris. The reef manta grows to a disc size of up to 5 meters across, while the oceanic manta can grow to the gigantic size of 7 meters across. Depending on the age of the individual, however, the two are difficult to distinguish using size alone, but the markings on the dorsal or top surface gives us an easy clue. The oceanic and migratory M. birostris has two white patches that are clearly defined and resemble a T, while in the coastal and reef-associated M. alfredi, the lighter patches are less clearly defined, appear to form a Y shape, and are usually gray. Manta rays grow very slowly, reach sexual maturity late, at approximately 10 years old, and only give birth to a single pup every 2 to 3 years. This makes them highly vulnerable to fishing, as their population can't grow fast enough to keep up. Both M. birostris and M. alfredi are classified as vulnerable by the IUCN's Red List of Endangered Species. It is hard to adequately describe the incredible experience of swimming with manta rays. The few moments of chaos as you get into water, waiting for the bubbles to clear and to orient yourself, and then a magical, silent, and graceful approach of a manta ray happens out of the blue. Simply unforgettable. Manta rays are the fish with the largest brains, and at the same time, they are charismatic and gentle animals. Can you differentiate manta rays from their relatives, the rays from genus Mobula? If you can't, maybe it's time to dive into the exciting world of manta rays. When we hear the word ray, we usually think of what you see on screen right now, where we have electric rays, torpedo, guitar rays, and skates, which make up the majority of the rays family. These are all benthic dwellers, so they live on the bottom. They eat crustaceans and other organisms that live in the sand, and they have these specially designed jaws that are made for crushing shellfish, and these animals are tied to the seafloor. The first thing you need to know about manta rays is that they're fish just like salmon and trout, despite being different from them in a matter of appearance. In fact, they're related to sharks because both belong to the Elasmobranchii subclass and are characterized by a skeleton made of cartilage instead of bone. At the same time, manta rays are included in the Betoidea superorder, which includes rays, electric rays, and sawfish. Most of these fish are easily identifiable by a flattened body and habit of staying near the ocean floor. Another distinguishing feature is the presence of structures that protrude from their head called cephalic lobes. When navigating, the manta ray keeps these lobes coiled up, but when feeding, it stretches them for these to push food-rich water into its mouth. There are only 2 species of manta ray grouped in the genus Manta. Are they predators? Their huge size might suggest they need to consume large animals to satisfy their appetite. But hey, their food is smaller than you think. They eat tiny organisms, often microscopic, called plankton, which the manta ray consumes through filtering. For this purpose, it has within its gills some structures called gill rakers, which are widely sought after in the market since they are used as remedies in traditional Chinese medicine. According to this, the gill rakers have the ability to heal from a simple cold to cancer. But before you run for your choice, keep in mind that there's no scientific validity up to date, and in turn, this contributes to reducing manta ray populations. Life cycle. Scientists know very little about the manta's life cycle, and the information presented here represents our best understanding put together from diverse reports, observations, and theories. The largest recorded manta embryo had a wingspan of 1.27 meters, and the smallest recorded free-swimming individuals are between 1.2 and 1.5 meters. An average newborn has a wingspan of 1.1 to 1.3 and weighs around 11 kilograms or 24 pounds. During the first year of their life, pups will double in size. Mantas are thought to live in excess of 20 years and maybe even as long as 100 years, but scientists do not yet know for sure. The smallest recorded sexually mature females, confirmed by pregnancies in the field or by dissection, had a wingspan of 4 to 4.5 meters, suggesting an age of about 5 to 6 years. Sexual maturity for males appear to be 6 to 8 years, based on the age at which claspers extend past the pelvic fins. Adult females will produce a litter of 1 or occasionally 2 pups every 1 to 3 years. Females in some populations have been recorded to give birth annually, whereas in other populations, pregnancies have not been recorded in consecutive years in any of the mature females. Their low productive rate makes mantas extremely vulnerable to overfishing. However, life history information is limited, preventing an accurate assessment of the threat posed by fisheries.